Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
Oh, well, hello there. Welcome to the Lock Shop, brought to you by our partners over at Play Alberta. If you've not yet signed up for an account, what are you waiting for? Sign up for an account. Download the app so you can play whenever your little heart desires. They've got they got a bunch of stuff going on over there. They got the casino games, they got the lottery, and of course, they've got what we truly care about, the sports betting. Why limit your choices if you can have it all? You know where you can have it all? Play Alberta. Your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, lottery, all in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now. Start playing today. Over at PA. They put together a little showtime, like yeah. I think what I could probably a New York parody, but for Play Alberta. New York parody, Play Alberta. I'll make a note. All right, we've got a few things to get to. Huss is going to join us here in a little bit. We're going to talk some NFL fantasy format questions. We'll get into that. There's a game tonight in the Canadian Football League, so we'll dive into that as well. Early bird bet is up from earlier today. Ottawa Redblacks plus 5.5. Drew Brown, 276 plus yards. That's at plus 178. We've got our CFL partner parlay from earlier in the week, 6-point teaser. Redblacks plus 12. Argos and Elks over 47.5. Ticats plus 10. BC Lions plus 1. And then the Lock Shop partner parlay from earlier in the week, Elks to win, Riders minus 2.5, BC Lions minus 2.5. So if you want to bet on the Canadian Football League, we got you covered with our partners over at Play Alberta. Make sure you use your game sense when you're playing at Play Alberta. Now, some new news. This was brought to my attention by the guys today. So if you go and click on football now, you'll see USA and Canada. You click on Canada, you'll see CFL. And then right after CFL now, you see CFL player markets. Okay? Now, there's not a ton of them, but it's a start. We have not had CFL player markets that you can go bet on just yet at Play Alberta. We are able to mix them into parlays because they're our partners and they are awesome for us. But now you can go and bet on some outright player props for the game tonight. Okay, so let's hammer these so they see that they're getting action on Play Alberta props for the CFL, and then we'll get more. All right, so here are the props that have been laid out over on Play Alberta for tonight's game. I'll just give, when Huss hops on, we'll go through all of these because it's the first day that we've been able to get CFL player props. Zach Collaros, 273.5 yards. It's minus 111 on both sides, of course. Drew Brown, 295.5 yards. Brady Oliveira, 71.5 yards rushing. Stanback, 38.5 yards. Dembski, 61.5 yards receiving. Carrick Wheatfall, 51.5 yards receiving. Justin Hardy, 66.5 yards receiving. Geno Lewis, 62.5 yards receiving. So that's what we've got. We've got some yard props on Collaros, Brown, Brady, Stanback. So 2 receivers for each team, the running back for each team, and then the quarterbacks of the passing yard. So this is a good start now. We'll look to add receptions. We'll look to add things along those lines. So that's a good one. I like that. Maverick over in the chat says, Huss has made me afraid to bet the Elks this week. And Huss, your green screen's still up. I don't know if that matters to you or not. He's going to join us in a second. We had Korolnik on, Aaron Korolnik, who likes to bet CFL as well, does a good job promoting it for TSN and their betting partner. He didn't have very many things positively to say about the Argos on the Nielsen show this morning. So I don't know. Let's see where that line is at right now. Let's see. Has it moved? Okay, so it's gone back to 3. Remember, it was 3.5. So these lines, all week long, these lines have moved all week long. The Bombers are now 4-point favorites. This thing opened at 7. It's now sitting at 4, which is pretty big movement. I mean, we've been talking a lot about the Ottawa Redblacks on the Lock Shop, on the Nielsen show. I think some EST money is moving that line a bit. Redblacks, 4-point dogs now. The Elks were at 3.5. It's back to 3. The Riders were at 4. It's back to 3.5. And the BC Lions, I mean, it just keeps moving and moving and moving. They're now favored by a touchdown and the extra point at 7-point favorites at home against Caleb Evans and the Montreal Alouettes. You can text us anytime if you are listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Just text us 780-218-9999. We've got 2 guys in a goalie presented by GS Construction. 2 guys will be coming up at noon today with myself, Gager, and Matt Cassie. And if you're watching over on YouTube today, feel free to chime in. We're going to dive into this football game tonight for sure. And then I said we will talk some NFL fantasy, like some league format stuff, and then the Blue Jays and Cubbies again as well. I haven't even checked in on the leaderboard at BMW Championship yet, but let's bring in Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk today. Game day in the Peg. Huss, I wish I was there. One of my boys last night, Franklin Rubes, our director, he's in Winnipeg for this game tonight. Text me picture last night of the bloody tendies at the Elephant and Castle. I just snidely replied, I'm not there for like another month, so enjoy. Like, come on now.
They're forgetting about you there at the ENC downtown, Dusty.
I know. I miss them.
You'll be in for like 18 hours and manage to have like 3 orders in a short period of time.
By the time I get back there in mid-September, buddy, it might be a 4-order trip.
Have you ever done just on your way to the airport, grabbed like a couple and literally brought them back to Edmonton with you?
No, but somebody from the Christian from Winnipeg drove out from Winnipeg for our Nasty Bash on Saturday and brought me.
What?
Yeah, he drove out for the party. It's a great party. So he drove out for the party on Friday and did bring me a jar of the like Manitoba honey dill and charged me $900 for it, but I had to pay it. It's too delicious.
Have your kids got into that yet?
You think I'm going to let my kids have some of that honey dill, buddy? You're delusional, Huss. There's no way anybody I love my wife and kids. And as a family, we do share everything. But there's no chance in hell they're getting their hands on my honey dill. There's just no way.
That you can't replace the supply fast enough. Nope. And if they start loving it with their dino nuggets or whatever, it's game over. Yeah,
that's a waste. So. That's a waste, putting it on like stupid little dino nuggets. Like those things got to be saved for the Cadillac of chicken tendies. So I tried to fly too close. Sometimes I'll make mistakes. I had a business meeting, I don't know, Tuesday, and there's an Earl's really close to here. So I do a lot of stuff just sitting there at the Earl's. But I know I was kind of hungry. I was waiting for somebody. I didn't think they'd eat, but I was like, I got to eat something. So I got the chicken tendies there. Like, I screwed up. Like, what a waste. What am I thinking, Earl's tendies? Like, it was a piss poor decision.
Did they still serve it with plum sauce?
There was plum sauce there. Yes, that's true. Yeah, there was plum sauce.
I didn't mind.
I'll say this. The plum sauce was the best part. Like,
oh, geez.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Earl's as much. We used to live at Earl's for a long period of time, like back before the arena moved over. I haven't been there as much lately. They've got some good go-tos, probably the tendies, not there. Although I did used to eat them quite a bit when I was less cultured, sort of where you are at life right now, just looking at chicken tenders wherever you're going.
When you were less cultured, God, this show is on fire. It's just, it's the best. What's the buzz? Okay, go ahead, man.
I heard you going through those lines, and I don't mean, well, actually, I do mean to give myself a big Barry Horowitz self-congratulatory pat on the back. I believe somebody on the lock shop, when these first lines came out, said that Bomber line is going to be around 4 when it goes off, and the BC one, get it now, because that is going to be a touchdown for sure. And here we are on Thursday before we're even there, and both of those are exactly as we talked about. I'm not at all surprised about the BC line. And I was wondering about the Winnipeg one, just because the Thursday game, sometimes it kind of catches it. People aren't really thinking as much CFL, and then all of a sudden it'll happen and you'll get some game day movement. But I mean, really from the get-go, especially when PA had the 7.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised that it went to 6.5 and 6. And now with the depth chart out, really only one change. But, you got Trey Vival, who's now starting at corner, Cam Lawson starting at corner. You got Ottawa coming off what they did to the Toronto defense right now. This is it makes a lot more sense in and around 4, frankly, than it did around 7.
Now, is it a number that will get you on the Bombers at 4, though, Huss?
Oh, I have a real hard time in this game. Like, to me, if you like the Bombers, hit the money line. It's it's a number you can stomach more right now. Listen, I think this is going to be a really tight game. If anything, what do you have for the total in this game?
Let me take a quick peek at it. 53.
53, which is high for a Bomber game. But to be honest, I don't necessarily hate the over in this game, because I really do think with the way the Bomber defense is set up, with the players they've got back there and what Ottawa's offense is doing, that Ottawa is going to get theirs. To me, the focus is all on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offense and whether they can get out of the quicksand they were in the second half against Calgary and, put some points on the board. The offense just has not been rolling. I mean, even in the one game they won in this 5-game stretch where they've been 1-4, Zach didn't play, and the offense only put together 1 touchdown. So this
what is it? Strevler's 2-0, right? And Zach's 2-4
as a starter. Yeah. I mean, Zach's obviously left 2 of the games, and Strevler's had a part of that a little bit earlier on. But when you look at the quarterback play, and listen, there's a lot that goes into this. I'm not just hanging out the QBs, but I mean, VA, Trevor Harris,
Rourke.
Certainly Nathan Rourke. And I would say since Cody Fajardo has gone in, they've all been playing at a higher level than Zach and the Bomber offense.
Yeah, that's true.
So listen, they need to pick it up and do it. And as I say, I'm not sure they're going to have an option, because Drew Brown, I would be shocked if he had a real quiet game. I mean, he's gone up against some solid defenses and put big time numbers up on the board. So if the Bombers want to hang with them, they're going to need to do that as well. And that's why I think that, even at 4 right now, I really do think a Bomber win or an Ottawa win is probably going to be in a close game. So I think you're more taking points than laying points in this one, but maybe looking for a lot of points with an over.
Let's dive through some of the player props that we've got up here at Play Alberta today. We got some yardage totals, Huss. We got 8 guys, so let's just go through it, and we'll go quick over under on all of these guys. Zach Collaros, 273.5 passing yards.
Oh, well, listen, if you watched the game last week, you'd say no way. But I kind of think that the way this game is going to go, that will be in the mix. I'm going to probably take under on that one.
Yeah.
Because I think we're going to get to another prop, which I am hammering the over on, which might take away a little bit from Zach's passing. Drew
Brown, we have a lower number on this combined with the Redblacks to cover already over on our EST specials page. But Drew Brown, 295.5 yards.
I'm probably thinking over on that one.
I think there's a 300-yard game coming here. They throw a ton, right? They throw a ton.
All day long.
Yeah.
All day long. I mean, listen, I guess if Stanback started going for 8 yards a carry or something like that, then maybe.
But that hasn't happened all year.
No, exactly. And, with what they did last week against Toronto, why would you do anything different? Drew Brown's going to be slinging it, going up against his mentor, Zach Collaros. I mean, he's going to be looking for a big game.
Brady Oliveira, 71.5.
Over. Love this number. And listen, if you look back at last week, he was the best player on the field for Winnipeg. his rushing numbers, he had 12 carries for, I think, 58 or 68 yards, something like that. I think it was over 5.5 carry. He was 9 catches for 100 yards. I mean, all of those were not as much, maybe 1 or 2 were a design play, but just guys weren't getting open. Zach didn't have a lot of time, so we just kept on dumping it off to Brady. Like, I don't think that happens again. They're definitely going to want to keep on giving him the football. So I think that rushing total goes up as far as number of carries. And it's certainly, if the Bombers are going to win this game, I think we'll see Brady Oliveira potentially in triple digits on the ground. Now, again, I realize that could be, they could do a couple more screens that maybe take that rushing number down, but anything under 80 yards on the ground, I was going to be hitting the over. And the fact that we're just over 70, I mean, listen, we know what the Bombers are going to be trying to do tonight, and that's going to be getting 20 heavily involved early and often. So I love the over 71 for 71.5 for Brady Oliveira.
Standbacks 38.5.
Well,
I think it's a fair number, right? Like 38.5, it's not a lot, but I mean, I have respect for a running back in general. 38.5 should be a reachable total, I would think.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's over. I mean, that's not a ridiculous amount. I mean, the Bombers, you saw what Dedrick Mills did last week. And I think, frankly, might be more opportunities for the Ottawa to run the football game, because I do think some of the linebackers, certainly the safety, whatnot. I mean, I think they're going to be more concerned with the Redblacks receivers to try to help the corners that are coming in first starts. So, it wouldn't surprise me if he had a big one or so. And I mean, even if he gets 10 carries in the entire football game, you're talking about 4 yards a carry. I think that's realistic. So I wouldn't be surprised if both of the running backs went over.
Okay. And then we've got receivers here. Dembski, 61.5.
I'll take over on that.
Yeah.
He's the one guy that I will take over on. The most reliable receiver that Winnipeg has. The one thing is, we saw Jason Hogan at the beginning of last game, Dusty. They were designing some plays to get Nick the ball, sometimes in the backfield. He was a running back coming up through high school before sort of switching over to the slot in college with the U of M. So yeah, you know what? I think, I mean, they're going to try and get Nick Dembski the ball. He's the best playmaker they've got in the receiver core right now, the most reliable one. So if there was one guy that I think I would maybe lean over to, it's Nick.
I could see Dembski being the 10 target guy that Brady was last week.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think somebody in that area of the field is going to get these targets. I could see a situation where Ottawa adjusts to maybe make sure it's not Brady, and that could open up Nick. So I don't hate that eye. Carrick Weedfall's 51.5.
I probably take the under on that.
Under on that one.
He's been very, very quiet. I mean, and
disappointingly quiet for me. I was pretty high on him coming into the year.
He had a great start to the season too.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple monster games. He was everywhere in the BC game, and I mean, you know, listen, the quarterback play has been an issue, and certainly the amount of time the quarterbacks have had has been an issue. But it just hasn't. It's going to be hard to get on Weedfall overs until we see a little bit more of what we saw earlier in the season, because it seems like he's been in a bit of a funk.
And then the two big boys on the other side for Ottawa, Justin Hardy sitting at 66.5. Geno Lewis is at 62.5. Do you like them both on the over there?
Wow, 62 for Geno?
Yeah, for Geno, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I saw somewhere else. I saw it at 71.5.
Yeah, so 62.5, buddy.
So at that number, yeah, I think Geno for sure. And to be honest, I think Hardy. I mean, listen, if we like Drew Brown, if we think he's going to have a 300-yard game, well, who's catching the balls? I mean, you could basically see both of those guys go over. I mean, Braylon Addison potentially going over. I don't know if you got a number for him.
I don't have a number on Addison, no.
I mean, listen, if you went on those three receivers, and if you think Drew Brown's getting 300 yards, if you just bet over on all three receivers, I think at worst, two of them are going to be going over.
I was thinking here for a little prop parlay we put together for this game tonight, Huss. I think what we do here is Brady over 71.5, and then the two Redblacks receivers over on the numbers. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that? I think that's what we do.
Do you like the over in this game? 53 is not a low number.
It's not as low of number. I mean, I think I do because of how banged up they are at corner in Winnipeg, right? Like if Ottawa can score. I mean, it's as simple as that. I think Winnipeg, unless they really muck it up with Brady and sort of try to control the game like that, which they haven't been able to do on a regular basis so far this year, I think if this game hits the under, it's going to have to be because like Willie Jefferson had another big game. If Drew Brown is able to actually stay in the pocket and make some plays and throw the ball, I think we're probably looking towards like, I don't know, like 30-26, 29-25 type of game. So yeah, I think it's a big number. You're right. You don't usually see Bombers at like 51.5, right? Like usually that's where they're going to be.
Well, I mean,
or even
usually
50.5.
Their defense, like, I mean, to me, the only way this game doesn't go over is if the Bombers just can't get things going on offense and finish in the team.
They're just like stalling out. Yeah.
Game. Like if they win this football game, they're going to need to be in the high 20s or the 30s because as we've said before, I mean, the one guy you just mentioned his name, Willie Jefferson, he's the one guy that could wreck this game. You know, maybe do what he did against Toronto, create a fumble that ends up going the other way for a touchdown, bat down a ton of balls. They need him so badly tonight because if Drew Brown has time all evening long, it's going to be more the same, maybe worse for the defensive secondary, considering the guys that are out of the lineup.
All right. Anything else in this game, Huss? I mean, it's sold out again. I'm assuming it's sold out again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Let's just see here. It's craziness that we will be talking about this. I know you guys do stuff with Fans First as well.
Yeah.
Great resale site. So the CFL is on is on. Like for instance, Elks games, I'm just looking, get lower zone, get in price, $20, $25. You go to Winnipeg for this game tonight, and there's a couple more seats available that'll come on, but I mean the get in is $70 at the top of the upper level bowl.
What a buzz.
Earlier in the week, there was like 5 or 6 single tickets available on the Ticketmaster dossier. So it's going to be wild, man. I mean, 10 straight sellouts, as concerned as a lot of people are about what's been happening on the field, no concern whatsoever about what's going on with the team at the box office. So hopefully the fans can be a big part of this game tonight. I mean, the Bombers are going to need everything going their way to kind of get out of this. And as I say, they do have a great opportunity with this game if they can win, and then they go to Montreal. And we all know what Montreal is dealing with quarterback-wise right now. I mean, you get a couple wins, you get to 6-4, start feeling good heading into Regina for the Labor Day Classic. Maybe that can sort of be the turnaround right now. But I mean, when you look at Winnipeg tonight, I mean, it's the guys that are getting paid the big money that really need to step up. Willie Jefferson, Brady Oliveira, Zach Caleros, and a collective defensive effort that, supports these young guys that are going to be going up against high-level receivers in their first start, sometimes out on an island.
All right, so let's just keep with the Winnipeg conversation here for a second. We are going to get to the Blue Jays and the Cubbies. I want to talk some formats and style of leagues in NFL fantasy football. Yep. But I see YouTube Trev over in the chat. That's above average. That's his YouTube channel. He says, Huss, who is the Mount Rushmore of players that come to mind when you think of the Winnipeg Jets all time? And Hernan and Gager did it on their show. I'm curious what yours would be. So Hernan and Gager have been doing faces of the franchise, and they've been doing like a Mount Rushmore of all the organizations. So for a Winnipeg-based guy, who would be the all-time 4 faces on the Jets Mount Rushmore?
And this is assuming like we're including 1.0 and 2.0?
Including, 1.0 and 2.0. All-time Jets.
Okay. It's Dale Howardchuck.
Howardchuck for sure.
It's Connor Hellebuck.
Helly.
I mean, those are the two automatic.
Those are the automatics, right?
Players. There would be a lot of people that would say Solani, and And listen, we all love him and he's a legend here, but he really didn't play here long enough.
Yeah, how long was he there? Because one of the first names that came, I mean, I have in my basement like a 16 by 20 photo of Solani signed shooting the, I love Teemu Solani. So that was one of the first names I thought of, but you're right. How long was he there for? Like,
he was there for the better part of 3.5 years. I mean, he had the amazing
three and a half years.
So, I mean, he might qualify on that because he does have the most incredible season for a skater. I mean, 76 goals as a rookie.
Yeah.
Winning the Calder Trophy. I mean, I think you could basically make an argument that he does belong there. The only knock against Solani is that he was here for such a brief time. Although, to be honest, he was traded in that last year, and the team moved the next year anyways. So, I mean, we're basically talking about that mix. Like, Thomas Steen was the all-time everything leader from 1.0. His numbers up in the rafters, but not as sexy a name. I mean, he was kind of more a longevity guy than a guy that was at the top of that list. Maybe I'm talking myself into Solani as that group, because if you look right now, Hellebuck with what he's done is an automatic. And then you're basically deciding between Scheifele and Wheeler, who for so long were connected at the hip. And of course, now Josh Morrissey, who's been a big part of the blue line. But I think Wheeler would be the guy. I mean, he's leading in just about everything. He was a 2011 guy all the way up until one season ago. So I'll go Wheeler. Hellebuck, Dale Hawerchuk. And again, you can split it. I mean, if you want to go with Solani, we'll wait to put Scheifele on. He certainly will be there when he's finally done and ended it. But Scheifele's probably there. And certainly when you add in time of service here in Winnipeg, I mean, it's not even close to what Solani is. And he's going to sign an extension, and he'll probably be here for his entire career. So when it ends up, Hellebuck, Scheifele, Wheeler, and of course Dale Hawerchuk, who will always be the first name in that conversation.
Hernan is over in the chat with who they had, because I was asking. They went Solani, Hawerchuk, Hellebuck, and Thomas Steen, who played a long time there too.
Yeah,
right?
well, I mentioned that. Like, the thing is, like, here's the crazy thing, guys. Like, it's tough to put 3 1.0 guys and Hellebuck now when Jets 2.0, this is the 15th season. I mean, we now have as much 2.0 Winnipeg Jets as we did 1.0 Winnipeg Jets. And to be honest, the 1.0 teams, I mean, they won 2 playoff series ever. I mean, they were sort of cursed by being in the Oilers neighborhood for all those years. But certainly the team has, achieved more in the second stint than they did in the first time. But I think if you compare the Steen numbers now to like the Wheeler and Scheifele numbers, the Wheeler and Scheifele numbers, frankly, will be better. So unfortunately for Thomas, he's out, and it's one of the new guys, Scheifele. Wheeler right now, but that will be Scheifele soon. He'll probably pass Wheeler in most of the categories coming up in this upcoming season. It's
Nielsen and Huss. It is the lock shop for our partners over at Play Alberta. Let's move over to some NFL fantasy, then we'll get to some baseball. So Rogers Place announced this today, Huss. On Thursday, August 28th, from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., you can host your league's fantasy football draft on the floor at the arena at Rogers Place. So this is how it's $80 a person. You get 1 beer, and then you get unlimited wings, and you'll have power to complete your draft. So, $80 a guy. They'll give you a table for teams of leagues. They said teams of 8 to 14, leagues of 8 to 14 teams, and do your draft on the floor at Rogers Place. What do you think?
Just like, it's a great idea. Really creative. I mean, I guess you guys are going to have to pay for all those fat extensions somehow. So
we were talking about this off. I said, man, they will do anything for $1 at an arena that is usually jammed most of the year. They're finding a fantasy football night at Rogers, which is interesting.
And it's 5 to 10.
It's from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's $80 a guy or girl, whatever. It's $80 a person. You get a beer and then unlimited wings. And then I think they're probably hoping that people just keep buying beers. I would assume, right? Like they're just going to try to just kill it off of beer sales.
The Wi-Fi?
Yeah, well, the Wi-Fi better be good or people are going to be freaking out.
These are live drafts, people. You print your cheat sheets and make sure your commissioner's got a pen.
Well, you know what they need to provide, and I wonder if anybody at Rogers thought about this. They should probably have, each table should probably have like a board at it so that you can pin your live sticker board onto it if you're going to do like a sticker draft with your buddies. Right? That's that's the best part about doing a live draft is going up and putting your sticker on. If you're all just sitting around drafting on your computer right there, it's not going to work. And as somebody who provides the draft boards for Juan Rincon draft weekend next weekend, last year we did the draft outside and we got there and we're like, oh no, what are we gonna pin this to? Like we didn't even think about it. So, I mean, hopefully they've thought about that or else there could be a lot of angry leagues at Rogers Place.
Well, and the funniest thing about it, you know how this is going to work. Like this is a great idea in some boardroom. And then it's just going to be the event staff people that are there that are handling it that probably have no idea what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Like they're never going to be getting questions at any other event like they're going to be getting at draft night down it. But it sounds fun. I mean, we've been to a ton of drafts before, those big draft tables where all the teams are at, everyone's around.
Oh, it's the best going to a draft. Yes.
It would sound like me. And do we have any idea the quality of the wings at Rogers Center? I mean, that is.
That's a good question. I thought I heard. I think there was another event where like Stoff was hosting, and it was a similar thing, like beer and maybe unlimited wings. I thought I heard that the wings weren't very good, but I can't confirm or I don't want to start that rumor. I can't confirm or deny.
Well, you should put it out to the nasties. Any of the ESTers that actually take the Oilers up on this opportunity to do their draft at Rogers Place. We need some photos of the wings. We need preferably a live wing review on the wing and maybe just a general review on the experience of doing the draft there. So many drafts are now just online. Like it's so different than when we started. We're getting together with the guy was the best. And I mean, hopefully you still make time and you can do that. But I mean, we're all in a bunch of leagues. I mean, it's not like a ton of these ones are getting together in person. So you know what, if you're doing it, you want to make a big ado about it. I mean, you can do it at a bar or something like that, which is always fun, but certainly be pretty interesting. Do you think many people will take them up on it?
I don't know. I'm very curious about this. It's like $80 a person is more than some leagues' entry fees. Like a lot of teams would be like a $50 entry fee, maybe probably $100. But I mean, there's so many people who love the Oilers. It'd be like, it sure would be cool to draft right there in the rink, So yeah, I don't know. Like, what do they like? Will they get 40 tables? Will 40 leagues sign up for this? I don't know.
Take the under on that.
You take the under in the 40? I think so. Like
betting maybe around 20.
Okay. That'd be a lot of room on the floor.
They've done it, right?
Yeah, it's the first time they've done this, I think. Yeah, I would remember if they've done this before. Like my 3 biggest leagues are still in-person drafts. It's the best way. It's the funnest way. You get the live chirps and stuff, live trade talk and stuff like that. It's funny that we're talking, well, it's not funny. I mean, we talk about a lot of fantasy, but I'm actually I'm just on the clock in a super flex draft that I'm doing right now. Oh. So let's talk this through here on the Lock Shop today. So I think I told you one of my biggest entry fee league is a super flex league. And I was starting this draft a couple days ago, and it's a slow draft. So we're only in the 3rd round. And here's how it kind of broke down, because I was in, where did I say? I drafted 9th. So it went Josh Allen, Lamar, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes. So then I took Bijan at 1-9 and was just like, screw it. I think he's going to have a monster season. I'll go running back and we'll see how the quarterbacks fall out. Then they went Baker Mayfield went next. And then the guy 11-12, 111 took Gibbs, 112 took Justin Jefferson. Then Bo Nix and Kyler Murray went. And now it's come back around. Wait a second here. With my 2nd round pick, I decided I've already got one of, if not the best running backs. I decided to take Brock Bowers because this is a 1.5 point for a tight end.
Tight end.
So it's I liked that pick. And then I said, you know what? There's only a $5 league. I kind of wanted to see how it would filter down to me now. So I'm on the clock. I have the best tight end, and I have one of, if not the best running back. I do not have a quarterback yet. I have a selection here, and then there's 6 picks before I pick again. All 3 of the guys who we pick already have at least one quarterback, so they could take another quarterback. But A.J. Brown and Nico Collins are both still there. And Nico Collins is going like 10th, 11th in regular leagues.
Yeah.
The quarterback situation that I'm looking at right now would be Drake May, Caleb Williams, Herbert, Goff, J.J. McCarthy, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence. So, I mean, unless I'm going to take 2, did I see you go for Trevor Lawrence? Is that what that was?
I know this is a big year for the investment.
I don't hate it. I mean, it's an important year for the investment. Michael Penix, we had Carl Dukes on from Atlanta this morning. He was raving about Michael Penix so far in camp, which was kind of interesting. But do I go Nico Collins here? Oh no, Nico Collins is gone. Drake London is the best name left. And he was actually raving about him too. So do I go Drake London and then take one of those quarterbacks 6 picks from now? Or do I go quarterback now and maybe Tyreek Hill or T. Higgins 6 picks from now? Or do I go quarterback now and another quarterback because I don't have one of the elite quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would probably be thinking of doing the latter. Like, it would scare me to be in a super flex league and leave quarterback that late and be at that much of a general disadvantage week after week, not only on one quarterback, but 2. There's a bunch of guys that you could pick. Like, I guess J.J. McCarthy has the big upside. Like, if it goes well, it could be a home run pick there. But again, he's a rookie. He hasn't thrown one yet in a regular season game. So there is a little bit of danger there. Drake May, a lot of people are really high on.
I was just going to say, a lot of people are speaking very highly of Drake May. He runs the ball a little bit too. And
well, and you know what's funny? I just recorded something for WST later on with a guy from fantasypoints.com. And we were talking about, well, actually, I hit him with that question. Remember the question that we got earlier on about the guy that was offered the 5th overall pick in a dynasty
for Garrett Wilson?
Wilson. So I said to him, I'm like, you know, if you're in a dynasty league where pretty much everyone good is gone and you're essentially drafting rookies and then some UDFAs, how high would the pick, or how low would the pick need to be for you to say no? And I believe the question that we got from the listener was the 5th pick in the draft for Garrett Wilson.
That was the question.
And that was essentially where we ended up. He goes, I might do it at 5. Because, you know, you're not getting Hampton, you're not getting Jante, you're not getting Tetroa from the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, McMillan.
And the other top receiver is escaping me right now.
Egbuka?
No, he was 6th.
Matt Golden?
No, he's lower down. I can pull it up right
Travis
now.
Hunter?
Yes, Travis Hunter,
Travis
of course.
Hunter, yeah.
So he said if those were the first 4 and he had the opportunity to get Travion Henderson, running back from New England, that would be something that he wouldn't do it for sure, but he would consider, and he probably would have done it for the top 4 picks. But then we got talking about Justin Fields. And by the way, he loved the prop. If you're looking for, you know, season-long props, Fields over 649.5 yards. This is because of the way that he plays. I mean, often it's think about passing and then run. I mean, if he plays the games, there's no one really behind him. Tyrod Taylor's already hurt. So, I mean, it looks like this is going to be Justin Fields' year to sort of sink or swim with the Jets. And if that's the case, he will be, if he's playing in the games, he should get the running. And then he expanded on just his theory on quarterbacks. And he said, honestly, I don't really care about, I mean, any of these guys are going to need to be able to throw. But he goes, all I care about is running. Because if you have a quarterback that goes for 450 or 500 yards rushing, And that's basically an extra 50 points that makes up for a lot that might not be happening else in the passing game. And you have those real high ceiling, high volume games that can happen. So it got me thinking more about, once you get out of that elite category of that first rounders in a super flex league, where are you going? And it's going to be guys that are able to run the football. And I would say Drake May is right there with those guys. I mean, he really is a mobile quarterback, and a guy that's big enough, and he's seen can do it. So to me, of that group, I kind of lean May just because of the rushing upside. And then for you later on, and again, I don't know how this draft works or how long many people, like, you probably might have to do this earlier as opposed to later.
Yeah.
But very high on Jackson Dart as a fantasy project, like a dynasty piece, in that only since like outside of Drake May, only Jalen Milroe from Alabama and Jaden Daniels had more rushing yards than Jackson Dart. So when he gets into the lineup, we're going to see a dynamic sort of run option with Dart that could end up being very, very good for fantasy owners. Now, he's probably not going to play for a few weeks, for sure. And who knows? There's a chance that Russ ends up being the starter for the entire year if they win some games. But if it is a guy that we're projecting, you might not need him as much this year, the running ability of Jackson Dart is something that could be very, very attractive moving forward. But for this, I mean, I think that how big is the drop-off after London to the other guys?
I'll tell you right now, I already took Drake London while you were talking. I was like, because I looked at it, like his average draft position of the receivers that were left was 26. The drop-off after that was down to Tyreek Hill at 42. So what I'm going to do here is I took London, and then there's 6 picks between us coming back. There's no way all 3 of those guys take a second quarterback already. So I should have Drake May might go, but if I can get Drake May 3rd pick of the 4th round in Superflex League, I'll be ecstatic. But Drake May might go, but then there's still Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, J.J. McCarthy, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence. And I start my quarterback room with one of those guys. And then, when it comes back around to me in 5th round, maybe it's Sammy Darts. Maybe it's Geno Smith. Maybe Bryce Young is still there. So I don't know. I think that's the fall off from London to the next guy was too big, like too big for me.
You're going to need to really, I mean, you've obviously invested in those top players. You'll get a quarterback with your next pick. You can start off that room. And then I would suggest that you would be smart to pick your 2nd and 3rd quarterbacks before, well, certainly the 3rd quarterback before a lot of those other guys, because there will be an element of playing, the hot guy, the good matchup guy, as opposed to just, I've got Joe Burrow. He's starting every single week the entire season.
I'll just wait. I'll take Joe Flacco super late. That's what I'll do. Joe, I'll stack the Joku and Joe Flacco, and we'll see how it goes. I wanted your thoughts. Oh, go ahead, Huss.
I'm just gonna say there's a couple of those guys late that attract. Like if I'm in a super flex league, I don't mind having a guy like Bryce Young as a number 3 QB of a guy that we can play on a regular basis.
That would be good. Yeah,
I think Young's gonna have a big bounce back year, which is wild because everyone thought that he was the biggest bust of all time about 3 weeks into the year. And then second half of the season, we saw some nice progression with Bryce. So I'm here for a little bit of Bryce Young. And I do think there's some quarterbacks you can get later on that will be definitely serviceable in 2 QB leagues.
All right. Speaking of fantasy leagues, and we'll get more into some position previews next week. Dynasty League, Keeper League, Redraft League. Rank them in the order of your level of enjoyment in those 3 leagues.
Keeper League 1.
Okay.
And then it's sort of like, put it this way. The draft is always the best if there's players to pick.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind dynasty leagues. Like, I think it's kind of neat where you get guys, but
After 2 rounds, though, you're like, man, what am I doing here? Right?
that's why keepers are my favorite. Like, I don't mind, if you get a guy, especially you get good value if you do. Like, I mean, I'm an auction guy over drafts like every day of the week. I mean,
Really? See, and I haven't dabbled in auction drafts ever. I've never done an auction draft. I swear to God.
Are you serious?
I've never done
Like,
a fantasy auction draft.
Snake draft is amateur hour. I mean, there's the only way to say it. Well, because honestly, everything is determined by like where you pull your thing. Auction.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You want a guy, you can get a guy. I mean, you got.
I would like to try it sometime. I would like to try it. Like, it would be. You know what? I lied when we did the startup draft for that crypto scam league. I was in there. We did auction on that, but that was with real money. So it was that was unfair too, because all the guys who had the
whatever happened to that?
I don't know. I don't.
League?
I'm assuming it's probably dead, but yeah, that was with real money. So the guys who had big bucks were just buying everybody. It kind of sucked. But I would like to. So I would like to try an auction league. I would. Yeah. So do you auction leagues in person, Huss?
Yeah, we have done them in person. I mean, the thing is that now, even if we're getting together with most of the guys, like all the formats, even like an ESPN has an auction thing where, it keeps everything going. You got 10 seconds to nominate a guy and then you're picking, it's going. It doesn't rely on an actual auctioneer to be doing it. So, I mean, I'd certainly suggest you do it online, but if you're in a redraft league with a bunch of guys that, you've done it before, I highly recommend trying the auction. It won't take a lot longer. It adds a lot more. It's not like you're waiting. I mean, you're basically in on every player that's up there. There's no one that you can't get. And your decision-making is just based on putting your resources to the guys that you feel can help you win the most. And, you're a big Chiefs guy and you're desperate to get Patrick Mahomes. Well, you don't have to worry that, I'm picking 12th. He won't be there by the time I'm there. I have zero shot with him. Everyone has the same shot on every player. So I highly, highly endorse the auction strategy. A couple leagues that we've done, and this kind of ties into the keeper.
Yeah.
Is that, we'll say whatever, the salary cap is $150 and you're picking 15 players. So it's an average of $10 a guy. I'm just throwing out an example. And everyone, once you draft, there's a record of what everybody cost. And next year you can keep 3 players. You keep them based on the salary that you drafted them on the year before. And we usually, add 20% plus $1. So if you drafted a guy at $10, if you're going to keep him, he's going to cost you $13 the next year. It'll be a little bit more, but if he's a good play and you made a good pick, you'll be getting him at a pretty good value. And then obviously you might have a little bit more money to spend because you made good picks the year before. We usually cap it at, you can keep a guy for 2 years and then he's got to go back in. So you don't have guys basically on teams forever, like dynasty leagues. But it's neat. There's so many different ways to do it. The one thing, do you know anything about the guillotine league?
Yeah, I do know. I played in a guillotine league a couple years ago, and it was pretty fun. I mean, it's stressful. Like whoever finishes last. Yeah,
explain it to people.
A guillotine league there's like no head to head, right? So you set your lineups. Whoever scores the fewest points is eliminated from the league. All of their players go into the free agent pool for waivers that week. And then you do it again. And then you do it again. And you eventually get down to your 2 final teams. It's I'm trying to think. I think I only lasted about 5 or 6 weeks in the one guillotine league that I did, but it was pretty cool. It was kind of neat. Yeah, I liked it.
I've never been in one of those, and I have heard from, some people that I've followed for a long time that are big fans of that model. So I might try and get into one of those this year, but in the meantime, I'm pretty much here for all of it. But I would say keeper auction style is my number one, but I'm still here for a fun, good old snake draft, redraft league where everyone's starting off the same spot. each and every year. And I mean, that's how everyone gets initially into fantasy football. It's the simplest and easiest. And there's still a big spot in my heart for those.
Yeah, like the Spite League there, that one's 5 keeper league. Just your keepers. There's no like certain rounds. It's just 5 guys you get to keep. The Wandering Cone League, we keep 4. And then the Big Boy League is a redraft. The Superflex League, it's a redraft every year. And there's a rush. There's a rush going into a redraft where there's a lot on the line. It's a lot of fun. It's like a fresh start every year. So I was thinking the other day, I was like, I think I really like redraft leagues. You know, if you have good keepers in your other leagues, you're ahead of the game a little bit.
The draft is a lot more fun when there's more drafting to be done. Yeah,
you're drafting the guys that I've been mock drafting for 2 months now. They're all there now. It's not like a bunch of them are kept. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. What's coming up in WST today, Huss?
Well, we're lots of talk about the game. Marsh is calling the game, so he'll be jumping on with us. Jeff Hamilton, as I mentioned, we've got, we'll be doing a lot of work with the guys from Fantasy Points all year. So Thomas Tipple's going to come on for the first time. He'll be sort of a regular on the program. And then Mike Sando from The Athletic has got his QB tiers article up. One of the smart ones that is not putting Patrick Mahomes behind all the guys that he beats every year in the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to having that conversation with Mike as well, with a little bit of NFL. But football heavy today. Not a lot of hockey talk going on around these parts right now. So lots of Bombers, Ottawa, and some NFL as well coming up in just a few minutes at WST.
Good stuff, buddy. I'm off tomorrow because I'm calling that game, so I'll check in with you on Monday.
Beautiful, man. Have a great call. We'll look forward to it.
Sounds good. There you go. That is Huss. Winnipeg Sports Talk coming up. A big game tonight, obviously, for the Bombers against the Redblacks. Game that you'll be able to watch on TSN. Put together that little parlay, the player prop parlay for tonight. It is already up, so let's slide back over there. If you want to play with us at Play Alberta, use the code EST Sports. Deposit $20, get a $50 free bet with EST Sports. And if you want to dabble in the casino a little bit, we've got one of those too. EST Casino, deposit 20, get 50 as well. So what we did was we went Brady Oliveira, 72 plus rushing yards. Justin Hardy, 67 plus receiving yards. Geno Lewis, 63 plus receiving yards. And after a little boosteroo, it's actually sitting at plus 620 for tonight. And I know we always like everything. I'm trying to think what might concern me from this one. I mean, do both Geno and Hardy end up with over 64 yards? Let me see. Let me check in on, let's see, last week's game. Because that was a high-flying affair compared to what we might see tonight against the Bombers. But they scored 46 points last week. But I'm pretty sure both of them would have hit this total last week. So last week, Geno only had 51 yards last week. 2 touchdowns, though. Justin Hardy had 106. Braylon Addison had 115. Pimbleton had 62. So they almost had 3 receivers last week with 62 or more. So we'll see if Geno can get it done. He was targeted 6 times, caught 5 of them. So we'll need that tonight. Geno, 63 plus, Hardy, 67 plus, and Brady Oliveira, 72 plus rushing yards. And that is plus 620. All right, we got 2 guys in the goalie coming up. We're going to take a look at that NHL.com list of the top 20 defensemen in the National Hockey League. You're going to get Cass and Gager to sign on this whole Kenny Holland versus Peter Chiarelli thing, and who was worse. And we'll take a look at the Whipping Boy bracket, which is pretty tight right now. It's like a 50-50 split. So that's coming up on 2 Guys in Goalie, brought to you by GS Construction. That's going to do it for the Lock Shop today here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Of course, EST is presented by Play Alberta. Thank you very much for joining us today. Best of luck if you're going to ride with us tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.